Alright guys, so how's it going today? So it's super windy, and it's been windy yesterday too, and all last night it got really bad. I had to I had to finish shutting my windows in my house because it was getting so windy that it was making a mess of everything. But the sun's supposed to come out later this evening, and the winds are supposed to calm down. I think the winds hit about 30 mile an hour last night, during the night, at like 3 in the morning, because I kind of got woke up by that. So, but, and it's supposedly the winds are supposed to calm down as the day goes on, and then the sun's supposed to pop out. And then it's supposed to be sunny tomorrow and be like almost 90. What the winds are going to be like, I don't know, because I've been trying to spray. I've been spraying the ex-mayor's field. We had one evening there. It was pretty good. There was no wind at all. So it was good spraying weather. So I put the sprayer back on Big Red and I've been spraying. But it takes so long because I'm doing the outside rounds. And those always take the longest to do once you start getting into the center of the field when it's less rounds. But, so I was able to spray one day. I think I started at like 8 o'clock and I went until probably about 9:30. I had to kind of quit because the dew was starting to come back on and I didn't want my chemical to run off. So then I figured, okay, well, last night I'd maybe try to spray because it kind of looked like the winds were calming down. As soon as I made a full tank of chemical, by the time I got done mixing the chemical, the wind started picking up. Okay, it wasn't terrible. So then the time I got out to his field, started spraying, wind started picking up, so I was only able to make like 2 rounds before the wind just started whipping it around. So I got a feeling that whatever I sprayed last night, I'm probably going to have to go over it again today. Because there was just too much drifting going on, and I don't think the chemical was I just don't think it was doing anything, because it was probably getting blown away. You could see it going down, but you could also see a lot of it getting pushed away. And I was trying to time myself to the wind, so like if the wind's picked up, well then I would slow down to like 1 mile an hour, and then if it stops, well then I'd pick up speed. So because I'm trying to go slower to obviously control drifting, but there's not much you're going to do about that. So unfortunately I had to just quit. I had to park it for the night, and it looked like my sprayer has been pissing. That's all chemical. It was this, when I walked in here, this nozzle was dripping. But I think I don't know, all the nozzles didn't do it but that one. But now it stopped. I think there was still some like pressure in the tank, and it was forcing chemical out still, because I didn't, let the air out or anything, or whatever was going on in there. So I got a nice big old freaking puddle of chemical on the floor, and it smells like freaking chemical in here. So that pisses me off, because that's probably a couple of gallons worth of chemical right there. But I guess I'll have to start releasing pressure, I guess. Like I said, especially if I know if I still have chemical. I mean, there's still chemical in here, but obviously I've lost some now. So I'm down to, let's see here. That's probably about, 9 gallons probably. 6, 7, 8, 9, so about 9 gallons of chemical left. So that's going to have to probably get used to respray what I've already tried to spray last night, but then the wind picked up. So it's just throwing my chemical around, and just to do his fucking field, it's taken pretty much a whole jug already. There's not even only a quart even left in that one jug. Luckily I got 2 of them, but I don't know. So might have to yet pick up another jug because I want to try to keep some stuff in stock. Not that I'm going to be spraying his field, every year, but I don't know, I might have to, because right now I'm just trying to control thistles because they're pretty bad in that field. The milkweeds, the ones that I did spray with Roundup, they are starting to die off. It looks like maybe the chemical is doing something. But for how late in the year it is, I don't know if it's just that they're dying off or if it's actually because the Roundup is killing them. You look at the other ones, it's kind of hard. Well, if you look at the ones that haven't been sprayed yet, it's still kind of hard because it's hard to tell, because even some of them are starting to die as well. So it's hard to tell. That's something you have to do when they're babies, little tiny plants, to even see what the hell they're doing. Right now, these are, they're pretty much full grown, so they're getting to that point anyway. But yeah, I don't know. And of course, you can see I got 2 extension cords here now. Well, that's because I'm running the sprayer off of my other battery, because I don't want to drain Big Red's battery down too quick, because this thing I know would suck a lot of juice. So it's easier just to kind of, do that instead of, if Big Red was charging, then I'd probably do it that way. But since Big Red's not charging, I got to do it this way to make sure Big Red's battery will last for however long I want to spray. And like I said, I went for, like an hour and a half that other night. Started at 8, didn't get done to 9:30. But that was because the dew was coming. I probably would have went until 10 if the dew would have stayed off. But we've been having a lot of muggy nights, so the dew comes on pretty heavy. Once the sun gets below the tree lines, well, then she starts to set in. So, and I don't like spraying when there's dew, because I'm afraid that, with there being moisture on the leaves, and if the chemical hits that water, well, then it might just shred, it might just fall off, and then it won't be any good. So, but I tried to spray last night, like I said, but there was no dew, obviously, when I started, because I started around 8 o'clock. But when I got out there, the winds were just picking up, getting worse. And it's like, well, I got to shut it down. It's just getting too windy. So whatever's left in here is probably what's going to have to get used to respray what I sprayed last night. Just because I don't know if they got the proper amount of chemical on. Now, I do have this set as low as it will go. But I just, what the hell, it's probably just getting a lot of drift going on. So it's just going to make sense to just redo what I did, try to remember where I left off, and the grass is kind of bouncing back from me running it over, so I'm losing, where I left off at, because I had a hard time last night even trying to figure out where I left off, because a lot of my tracks are starting to disappear. So, it's kind of hard to keep track of that. You're probably better off just putting flags, or like little flags in the ground where you left off at, so then you would kind of know. But I guess that's what I could do. But this would give you a rough idea where you stopped. But I don't know. His field's kind of iffy anyway, because there's a lot of, going around and stuff, and just it just throws everything off. For me, it does anyway. So, if you had GPS, it wouldn't be so bad then. But I'm not going to spend big money on a GPS for a little 4-wheeler. A little, what is that? I don't know. I think it's only 7 feet. I'm not really sure. I don't remember now. 140 inches, I think they said on the box. But so it's not a huge, big sprayer, but it's been doing what I wanted to do, and I did replace the broken nozzle, by the way. I got another one that looks like it's been dickered, but it still seems to be spraying all right. So I'm just going to keep on rolling on with it. I think I got a thing. I'm going to be smashing a lot of those, because when you have to move them around, those hit the ground first, and then you move stuff around, well, then they get dragged on. So there's really no good way of moving that sprayer around without busting a few nozzles. So I think this winter I'm going to be ordering a shit ton of nozzles, because I got a feeling I'm going to be going through a lot of nozzles in my lifetime. So until I find a better way to remove that sprayer without really busting anything up. But that's pretty much, you know, it's not going to happen. So I'm going to end up busting a lot of them off. So, but whatever. So yeah, and the other good news is, I guess, whoever's watching my videos, I guess, we finally had a calf. Actually, yesterday. We spent a lot of time, because we're kind of behind because of how the weather's been, so we're kind of behind on everything, but we were trying to get the barnyard set it up so we could put her in here, and of course that cow's being a bitch. Of course, all these cows are stupid to begin with, but we had to run to the young guy's farm to get a bale of hay because obviously we don't have any left. So luckily we caught him at a time when he was at the yard, but said he was just getting ready to leave for baling hay. And I think he managed to get quite a bit done, because later on that evening, as soon as we dumped that bale off, the sun popped out and it stayed out the rest of the day. So I imagine he got quite a bit baled. So we'll get into that too. But I don't know what it is yet, if it's a boy or a girl. Even my uncle doesn't really know. We didn't even really have time to look at it, because we were just, again, we're behind on everything, trying to get the barnyard fixed up, get some fencing done, get the electric fences put back up. And we did a double electric fence this time, one on the inside, one on the outside of the old fencing, because the one on the inside keeps the cows in, and the one on the outside keeps the cows out, because supposedly, what my uncle says, the cows that are still roaming free, they have a habit of pushing on the old fence, shorting out the other fence, or busting in. So we had to do a double electric fence just to keep them out. And we're actually out of electric fence posts, so I need to pick up some more of them too. So, but whatever. Won't be anytime soon, because I got enough crap to pay for as it is for this month. So, but yeah, but we think it must have been born, or calf, or whatever, same thing, sometime during the night or early morning or whatever, because the calf was, you know, clean and dry, and he wasn't moving a whole hell of a lot, but they usually don't move much, you know, for the first like 12 hours or whatever. That's probably a little less than that, but they don't really move all that much for a while. They more or less just kind of want to sleep. So, but of course that one, once we finally got the fencing and done, and, you know, and doing other stuff, and, you know, we had to go find the calf, because again, the mother, you know, when they want to go feed, they dump their calf off somewhere, and then the calf just sleeps there until the mother decides to wake it up. So, but she had it in this little rental piece that we have our cows in now, because we had them in there. We don't have them in the ex-mayor's field anymore, because obviously that's where I'm spraying now, but the grass is pretty much done in there. It'll probably bounce back a little bit given how much rain we're freaking getting all the time, and sun, well, lack of sun and heat, but we're talking a little bit of heat tomorrow. So, but given for what we've been getting so far, that grass should bounce back pretty good. So, but I want to get done spraying in there, so then the chemical can kind of wear off, and then the cows can go back out there when it's time and not worry about eating chemicals. So, but the problem with that rental piece is there's a big massive low spot in there, and it's all wet, it's all underwater. And she kind of had her calf in a wet spot. So we had to, you know, we were trying to see if the calf would maybe walk itself kind of out into a drier spot so we could get the pickup in or something, but the calf took off. Typical, every year they run away from us. But, you know, they don't know us either. They're just born, so they don't know who we are. They want to know who their mother is. So, to them, they probably think that we're going to hurt them, so they try to run away. So that's what he did, or she, or whoever, the little calf, it ran away. First we were chasing after it, but it's all just a fucking mud hole everywhere you walk, and you're tripping over shit because nothing's clean and whatever else. So, but then it got out, walked down the road. I was like, well, I gotta go get the pickup or the four-wheeler or something because we need something to haul it back with. Of course, I forgot that I had all this on, so it wouldn't really be an option to haul it on the four-wheeler, but I think we could have figured out a way. And then I just decided to go get the pickup. So then, you know, went to go get the pickup, come down the road, can't find my uncle anywhere. Come to find out the calf kind of wandered into town a little bit, but then it wandered back. Ended up in the ex-mayor's field along the fence, and then it hit the fence, and then it just laid down because it was tired. So I come in there with the pickup, picked it up, and we took it back to the barn, and then we tried to get the mother in. Well, the mother was being a bitch because she's stupid and can't figure it out. She doesn't, I guess, realize what we're trying to do because she's stupid. So we tried to push her in the gate, and she's acting like the gate wasn't even there, so she wouldn't even go in it. She walked up to the fence because we got like a side fence. That's got a little gate on it too, but it's only like a man-sized gate. It's not really meant for cattle, but she's just so stupid. She's looking right at the calf. All she had to do was take 6 steps to her left, walk up to the big main gate, and then make 6 steps in the gate, and then she would have been in with her calf. But she was just too stupid to do that. Instead of doing that, she just completely turned around and went the opposite way. So our cows are definitely an interesting group of cows, because I think she's kind of the cuckoo in the head, but I think she's had calves before. I think she's been here. Well, she's been here a while, but she's always been kind of a nut job. So, but whatever. So it's kind of nice to have an actual. Well, it's not my calf, but it's my uncle's calf. But it was kind of nice to see a calf kind of right away, even though it's only one. But it might be a while now before we see another one. But at least we have one. So at least we know things are somewhat going positive for us because we have at least one. So, but I'm more concerned about my cow, if any, the more than anything else. But what are you gonna do? So I don't know. Whoever calves next is that's who's gonna get locked up with the other one. So, but I don't know. Either way, we'll get it. I mean, calving season has started, like I said in that last video. It has officially started. And we got one calf on the ground, which, is a good thing. I don't know what it is yet, if it's a boy or a girl, because even my uncle didn't know, because we were just in such a hurry to get things done. You think how hard it would be to lift the leg and look, but, we weren't thinking of that. We were thinking of getting the freaking cow to the barn, so stuff like that kind of, gets shot out of the mind because we're focusing on other things and we don't think about it. So, but I'm sure my uncle has already looked at it by now. I don't know. So, but it kind of just is what it is. So, but yeah, I don't know. But at least we got one calf on the ground. That's, some good news at least. Things are looking positive. But now, what's wearing me down is I can't spray. It's always something. But I can only spray when the winds are very little. And the winds usually don't calm down until about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. And then as the night goes on, then the winds calm down even more. I can't be spraying after 10 o'clock, really, because then there's too much dew. And I don't like spraying when there's much moisture on the ground because I feel like my chemicals are just going to run off. So I have a very small window to do any kind of spraying, and I've only gotten a small chunk of that field done. I got a little bit more spraying. I got a lot of spraying left to do. So if I can get some spraying done today, I don't think I'll be able to finish that field tonight, though. I just, because you would think, an hour and a half, you could spray the whole field. Not the way I'm doing it. One, my sprayer's too small for that field. And two, I only go about 2-3 miles an hour because I want my weeds to be soaked in chemical. Because I don't want them to get resistant to a chemical. Because if you only make them sick, that's how they get resistant to it. You gotta actually kill them. And that's what I'm worried about those rounds that I made last night, is that they may have just only gotten sick. So I think if I put another dose on top of what I've already done, that should take care of it. So I'm going to have to redo at least a couple of rounds. And then that should take care of that tank, because I don't have to make another new tank. So I don't know if I'm even going to have enough chemical. I should, but that one bottle is already just about empty. I don't think there's even quite half a quart left in that, but because I do 1 quart for 25 gallons, so that might be overkill. I don't know. I've never tried it at just half a quart, you know. So I think I would rather try that, you know, like close to home where I can keep an eye on it, where I don't really go out in the Exmears field all that much, so it's hard to, and I don't want to do the whole field. I'd rather do like a little section too. So like where all the bales sat last year out in our field, that's a good test plot, you know, because there's tons of thistles out there. But the young guys are going to be coming and cutting them probably pretty soon, so there's really no sense of spraying them. So they may not even come back. And well, they might come back a little bit, but they may not be able to do anything. So I may have to wait until next year and see what half a quart does to 25 gallons. You know, if it only makes them sick, well then, you know, like, I mean, you'll be able to tell, because they're either going to die, or the leaves are going to look a little wilted, and that's about it. If they don't get brown, well, then they're not dead. So they don't have to go over it again, which would give them that full quart, you know, and then that should kill them off. But I don't know. So I know that 1 quart for 25 gallons works. So, but I don't know. Whatever. So, but yeah. So, yeah, I don't know when the young guy's going to get here. He's pretty much a one-man show, supposedly, from what he says. He's only doing what he can. He doesn't have help. So, and he had quite a few fields cut, and one field got 4 inches of rain on it, and another field got 2 inches. So he says that when he got out there, I guess to either try to bale it or flip it or something. I don't know. He says there was nothing there. It was all just rotten. So he lost out on 2 fields there. And then supposedly at his dad's place, he had some hay fields there too. Gone. There's nothing there because the fields were underwater too long and it killed everything. So there was nothing there to cut either, which would suck. There's probably nothing but fucking weeds there, so you might as well just spray them down. But he's probably going to most likely have to reseed, I guess, there. I don't know. But I don't know. The young guy said he's not going to get a lot of hay this year, from what it sounds like. So he might be selling a lot of his cows, because there's not going to be a lot of hay there for him this year. So I know that last year he actually bought quite a bit of hay. You know, he had a lot trucked in, but that gets expensive. So I don't know if he can't keep doing that every year, you know. But yeah, the only reason why the young guy's so damn late is just because it keeps freaking raining. Yeah, it's doing it here too. We finally had a couple of decent days yesterday, and I think today's looks like it's gonna be and tomorrow too. So we're gonna have a total of 3 decent days. And then I think it's on the 5th, they're talking storms. But then after that, it looks like it might be kind of calm too. So I don't know, but this is just getting to be kind of ridiculous that, you know, we can't get ahead. So, but I guess what can you do? If we can't get ahead on cutting hay and spraying, well, then we better get some damn good calves then, I guess. So, but you need the hay to feed them too. So what are you gonna do? But this is what I'm doing right now. Is I'm doing spraying. So try to see if I can redo my rounds from last night tonight, and maybe try to get a couple new rounds in. I don't think I'm going to get that field done tonight, though. If the wind would stop right now, then I could spend all day spraying, but it's just, that's not going to work because it's still windy. Sounds like about every hour it's supposed to go down a little bit at a time, but a little bit's not enough. It needs to just come to a grinding halt for today and let me get spraying done. So, but nothing you can really do about it. So, I mean, I guess you can bitch and complain about it, but it ain't gonna fix the problem. And this is obviously really irritating to see how I got lost quite a bit of chemical just out of one nozzle. Yeah, it just, I guess there must have been still some pressure in it or something. And it just kept pushing it out. So quite a bit too. Because if I only did it out of one nozzle, well, that's quite a bit. So, because it goes all the way up to, well, you can see it there, and it goes all the way up there, and all the way over there, and way over to this crack here, and like it's a big area. So that's a lot of chemical I've lost. But I guess I didn't realize it was leaking, or it was still under pressure. You think that would have kind of bled off, but I don't know. As soon as I went over here and cracked all these valves open, well, then the pressure dropped, I guess. And then it slowly started not dripping out of that nozzle. So I guess there must have still been some pressure in it. So I don't know how much chemical there. I bet you I probably lost at least a gallon. I don't know. But I didn't have too much left in here anyway. But I think I'm pretty sure I was closer to that 10-gallon mark. I'm down to 9, so I would say probably about a good gallon I lost. So, but it sucks because it's a gallon of chemical that I'm never going to get back. So, but what are you going to do? So, but yeah, I don't know. Try to get done spraying. Hopefully, if I can spray tomorrow, I maybe should be done tomorrow. If I can spray tonight, redo my last 2 rounds that I did, and then make at least 2 more rounds, then I should be about done. There shouldn't be too much more left to do. So all I can say is that I know that these tank loads are lasting a little bit longer now because I'm not doing the outside rounds anymore, because I'm getting more into the center of the field now. So those are much shorter rounds. So I'm getting more rounds out of this. When I did the outside rounds, I think I only did about 2 rounds and I was empty. And I think now I'm up to maybe about 4 rounds before it's empty. So, and then last night, like I said, I only made 2 because of the wind. So I might have to go redo them again. And then, that'll probably finish this off. And then I can make a fresh batch, because that's last night's chemical. So I'll have to obviously remix that, that's what the pump is for. You can redo that for me. Bouncing around in the field too will mix it up pretty good too. So, but it just sucks. But if the winds would calm down, if they would even calm down by 3, I probably would go out and at least redo those last 2 rounds. But I don't think it's going to calm down enough. So, but I had to try anyway. I was hoping I could at least gotten a couple of rounds in last night, which I did, but there was a lot of drifting going on. So I don't really think that they got the proper amount. So I will have to do at least those last 2 rounds to even, hopefully not have resistant weeds. So, because if they're resistant, well then I gotta chop them. That's the only way I can kill them. Is I gotta chop them with the mower. The young guy said that for the milkweeds, I don't know how true this is, but he says you can actually go in there with a spray bottle of off and spray them. Supposedly that kills milkweeds. Well, that's a lot of freaking off. Off the bug spray stuff that keeps mosquitoes and stuff away from you. I got a bottle of it myself, which I've been using to control mosquitoes, but I I don't know. I need about 5,000 gallons of that shit. I don't know if it would kill the grass or not, because if I could get that stuff in like a bulk form, I just put the shit in my sprayer and then I run it through the sprayer. Clean the sprayer out really good, you know, with some water and stuff, and spray off. I don't know how good that works, but that's what the young guy says anyway. You can just spray off on him and it would kill him, but I don't know. I've never. I guess I would have to just try it, sacrifice a little bit off, and see how it actually does, if it kills it right away or not. I don't know. So, I mean, if this chemical would kill it, then it wouldn't be a problem, but I don't think it will, so it kind of sucks. I wish it would kill them, but what are you going to do? So, but anyways, guys, I guess I'm going to take off. Just wanted to give you guys a little update to what's going on, that we had a calf finally, and trying to get some spraying done and whatever else. So I don't know, but I'm going to try to spray tonight if I can get away with it. Oh look, that turkey had some baby turkeys. That's interesting. I thought they would have had their babies a long time ago. You guys ain't going to be able to see them because they're kind of going behind those trailers, but they're over there behind those white trailers. But there's some little babies walking around. I thought they would have done that more in springtime, but I don't know. Maybe they can get knocked up multiple times a year. I don't know. I don't know how turkey breeding works. So, but yeah. So I guess that's pretty much it. Just want to let you guys know what the hell's going on. Finally got a calf, and trying to get some spraying done. And yeah, so hopefully we can get her done. Or won't get her done tonight, but maybe tomorrow night we'll get her done. I don't care if the sun's out. I just can't have extremely high winds, you know. So, well, actually, I guess I could just shut that off because I got nothing plugged in anyway. That thing stays on like all the time because I need to keep my batteries charged up. And I don't know how long it takes for them to charge, so I usually just plug them in and go back to the house. I come back out the next day and they're usually done. So, but yeah, I don't know. So, anyways, guys, I guess I'll take off. So I guess have a good day and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.